Imagine taking your child to school and entrusting her in the care of her teachers and all the people working in the school, and leaving, hoping that, believing in your heart that your child is in safe hands, that nothing will be able to happen to her as long as she's in school, because you already trust those people, you've paid your bills, you know them. That's why you left your child there as her place of learning, and coming back and not being able to find your child, a 5 year old child. This happened in Kano State in 2021. This is the case of Hanifa Abubakar. She was a 5 year old child that got lost from her school in the Nasarawa local government of Kano State. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Linda Kamara and you're on Crime Stories with Linda. Please, if this is your first time of coming across this channel, please do not hesitate to click on the subscribe button and stay tuned to this channel. Thank you very much. So Hanifa Abubakar was a 5 year old child she was the only child of her parents. So, and they already went to this Nobel Children's School in Nasarawa local government of Kano State and placed this child there, that this is where she will be able to go to school. And then coming back to pick her from school and finding out that she is nowhere to be found. The school, she said that the child had already left the school premises, that in fact she has left the school premises, that she was not in school and everything. They were looking for this child. DSS were involved, the police were involved. They were really trying to doing all they could to find this little girl because she was 5 years old. After some days, her parents received a ransom demand, 6 million naira, which was $14,600 as at 2021. As at 2021, 6 million naira was $14,600. And the parents were able, after some deliberations, they were able to still pay for the ransom. But this child was not released because apparently she had been kidnapped. This was a child that had all the dreams, that is like every other child that plays, an innocent child that does not even know much about this world, and she was kidnapped at that age. After these kidnappers collected the 6 million naira, she was not released because they felt that if they release her, that she will be able to tell her parents, the people that she was with for these past few days. So they didn't release her. Instead she was killed. After paying that money, the parents were still waiting for the release of their child. When after some days and the child was not released, they knew that something was up. So, and the police, they continued their investigation, and that was how the investigation led to Abdul Malik Tanko. Abdul Malik Tanko was the proprietor of the school that Hanifa Abubakar was placed in. That school that she was supposed to be protected, where she was supposed to be loved and taken care of. The proprietor of that school was the one that kidnapped Hanifa Abubakar. He took her from that school, took her home, and told his wife that the child is the daughter of one of his teachers in school, that the mom said that the child should stay with them for some days, that she's traveling, so that's why he brought her home. So this child has been with them for some days. Then on the day after they've paid, the parents paid the ransom, he was deliberating on whether he should release this baby. If he release this baby, the baby is already 5 years, she can talk. So they'll be able to like describe him to the police, and the police will know that he is the one that kidnapped her. So he didn't release her. What he did was to buy this bobo drink, this bobo yogurt drink. He bought the yogurt drink, and at 11 p.m. on 4th of December 2021, he mixed that bobo drink with his own tea that he drank around that time. So he mixed it together with the rat poison that he bought. So he mixed it together, and he told Hanifa that he wants to take her to her uncle's house. And Hanifa was very happy because like this is the first time that she's been able to go home since she was kidnapped. So as he was driving her to her uncle's place in quotes, as he was right taking her to her uncle's place in quote, he gave her that drink, and the little girl, without knowing anything, trusting her proprietor that she has been with for at least for some years. This has been the school that she was going to. So she took the drink and drank it, and that was how she died. So this proprietor, this very, very heartless proprietor, took this baby's corpse to the school compound, the school premises, where children are supposed to come in and learn, where children are supposed to be protected. And she put her inside a sack and took her to the school, and where that was where she was buried. A hole was dug. He had an accomplice, Hashim. Hashim Isiaku. That Hashim Isiaku was the one that dug the hole, and they placed this little girl there, and they buried her in that school, and they left. So the police, during their investigations, suspected this proprietor because this baby got lost from, they took her to school in the morning and she didn't make it home that day. She didn't come home. So he has been one of their suspects. He's part of the suspects. So they were suspecting him, and their investigation led them to him. And while investigating him, and after much interrogation, he was able to confess that this was what happened. And they even led the police to where the baby was buried, and that was how Hanifa was found, to bring the corpse out from the little grave where they buried. Took her to the hospital to investigate what happened, how she died, and everything. Did autopsy, and at the end of the day, she was released to her parents, and the parents were able to bury her. Everyone was shocked because nobody believed that a proprietor is capable of doing something like this. Like the first time something like that was happening, a proprietor, not even one of the teachers, not even the school gatekeeper or anything, the main person that has the school, the owner of the school, he was the one that committed this crime, because he kidnapped this girl because he maybe felt the parents, they are rich, and for him to collect that amount of money, and that was what he did, and he was caught, thankfully. And everywhere, the social media, everyone was shocked. People were writing justice for Hanifa, justice for Hanifa. It trended so much in that 2021, to the extent that the governor of Kano State revoked all the license for private schools in Kano State because of this particular case. He revoked the license of all the private schools in Kano State, that they need to be investigated before they will issue any license to any school, or they will need to investigate the school thoroughly before they will issue any license. And that was what happened then. And I think by now they've reissued the license to them. So by 2022, the case went to court. Him and Hashim Isiaku and Abdul Malik Tanko, both of them were sentenced to death. They were sentenced to death. Then there was another accomplice, but what she did was not really revealed. Her name was Jubril something. So she was given 2 years imprisonment. So, and that was how the case went. People were really, really, really shocked, and it made people start like asking questions about this, all the private schools that have been springing up all over the place. It made people more concerned about the safety of children in private schools, safety of children in schools. Because how will you take your child to school in the morning? The parents could not even believe it. They felt maybe the child left the school gate, and maybe she was just kidnapped from outside the school, that maybe it's someone that just took her, and maybe the school didn't know when this thing happened. But this thing happened inside the school. The little girl was kidnapped by her proprietor, taken to his home, where he lied to his wife. I don't even know how the wife was able to believe that type of lie, but that the child was the child of one of the teachers, and they had to stay with them for days in their house without the mother coming to come and check on her or anything. The child stayed there for days, and that was how the whole thing happened. So Hanifa, the little girl, 5 years old girl that had dreams of every other 5 year old of growing up and becoming a good person in the society, growing up and doing things that she's supposed to do. By assuming her life was not taken, she could have been 10, she could have been going to secondary school, but her life was taken from her at that little young age, without any thinking. All those people, very heartless people, without thinking of what this child would have been able to accomplish, what this child would have been able to do, without thinking of anything, just to be able to get money, to collect money. All our heartlessness or things that people think of how to destroy other people, that was what killed this little girl. And they did it without even thinking. And I hope that wherever that Tanko, that Abdul Malik and Abdul Malik Tanko and Hashim Isiaku is, that they are really, really suffering for what they have done. And I hope that they've been, at least they have, a death sentence has been carried out. I didn't really see what had happened to them, whether they have being killed or not. I didn't see that. I think, knowing Nigeria and knowing how it's hard for governors to sign off on death penalties, for the death penalty to be served, I know that maybe they may still be alive. They are still alive, definitely. So I hope that wherever they are, that they are suffering so much. I hope they are suffering so much for what they have done, because 6 million naira, that was 14,600. That same 6 million naira, I'm not even sure is up to $6,000 now. And because of that, they killed a child of 5 years old. They kidnapped a child. They killed a child, and that's the height of it. That's really the height of it. And I hope that I hope that other governors will look into all the private schools, all these high private schools springing up, to know all the mushroom ones that they can close, all the ones that they are doing questionable activities. Because all these things, they are unheard of, that someone came to your school, registered a child, and maybe they knew this child when she was 2 years old, or 3 years or from when she was 2 years old, or even 1 year old. That child has been in the school, they've been nurturing her until she's 5 years old, and then this man had the mind to go and murder this little girl. I hope that they look into private schools and monitor them, and monitor whatever they are doing, and check their license very well. All the ones that they are not supposed to give a license, they should not give them license. All the ones that their eye is going cham cham cham, they should not give them license, and give to people that are supposed to handle school, people that they are already learned, that know they are studied education, that knows how to take care of children. Not anyhow human being will just stand up and go and open school and start doing silly things there. So please, just take care of yourself. Be safe. Make sure your children are safe too. And please don't forget to subscribe and like and share and comment. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.